Hey guys, welcome back. It's Claytano. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And I don't typically make update videos, but I know a lot of my viewers don't necessarily keep up with Reddit posts, so I thought it was my duty to give you guys the information that I saw on Reddit this morning here. And this is a post made by Rice Bala, and it is the official upcoming updates in 2017, and his source is simply the fact that he is Korean. So I personally believe him, and I hope you guys do as well. But he says there was a Summoners War conference / party in Korea today, and there were some very important things discussed regarding future updates. Now, this is information from the official Naver Café and is briefly summarized from a few users who compiled all the information from various posts from people who attended, so he apologizes for the lack of details. Now, for those of you who don't know the official Naver Café, I will post a link to it in the description below, but basically it is just a cute little Korean site for Summoners War, and I don't know what anything says on it, but you guys can check that out below. However, he starts off with talking about esports and how there's going to be tournaments, new friendly tournaments, and global on / offline tournaments implemented into the game at some point throughout 2017. And I really like this idea here because I actually had an interview with a Com2uS representative not too long ago talking specifically about tournaments for real-time arena, somehow making it skill-based rather than being rune or RNG based, where we can maybe have our pick of the entire litter of monsters in Summoners War and be able to fight against friends using anything we can possibly choose. He then goes on to talk about the guild community with improved guild communication, new co-op content, increased affiliation and utility, improved guild accessibility, and three-way guild wars. And you guys all know that I love me some three-ways here. But basically he says it would be capturing points / areas in battles, and I would assume that it would be 2 or 3 guilds against each other and trying to hold a specific spot, maybe like Pokemon Go or something, where you have a gym and you got your guild that's going to be holding the gym, and you have other people that are trying to fight you to take you off of that tower. Maybe something like that. I think that would be cool. He then goes on to talk about magic crafts and how there is potentially going to be new light and dark support types here that you can see in this picture, showing this beautiful artistry of Com2uS, and I'm super excited for that. I have no idea what kind of skills they're going to have, or if they're going to be available for arena defense where the regular homunculuses are not, but I'm super excited because it just gives more. Anytime there's a monster added to the game, I feel like it could potentially change the meta in a whole new way. So I always get excited about that. But then also there's going to be new craftable items. New craftable items? I could take some new craftable items. I mean, just, you know, some decoration, things like that. But then look at the next thing here. It says there's going to be a new light monster that will not be the light Ifrit. So I don't know what it's going to be, but you can see here's a photo of it, and it shows Sigmaris, Katarina, Vermos, the fire panda, who knows his name. But then it has a question mark underneath the light symbol that is just teasing us as much as it possibly can, because we want to know what that light monster is. Unfortunately, we don't know any information about the monster, what it will be. Maybe it's a new light panda that's going to change people's lives. But then it goes on to talk about the dimensional hole, and I don't know if you guys have seen on the very right hand side of the map, there's this place that it says preparing update, and they've been preparing this update for the entire life of the game, and for it to finally be out, I'm extremely excited to see what it's going to be. But he talks about it saying that it's a place where you can use some of the less used monsters, and in parentheses he says, I think this might be like quest type battles, like only damaged by fire type defense monsters or only damaged by 3-star wind monsters, etc. And I think that would actually be really cool because you can start ruining up those random 3-star and 2-star monsters and having some good use out of really every single monster in the game. But you know, it's just going to give you so much to do where you're never going to put Summoners War down because you're always going to be 6-starring all these random monsters. So that's fun to look forward to. And then he finishes the post off with a little Q&A here, and the first one is regarding the speed meta. Hard to make sudden drastic changes because the users have 6-starred runes. If we stop right there, that sounds a little weird. And monsters according to the meta. Okay, now that makes sense that we're 6-starring monsters and plus 15ing runes. Now, I don't think that this should even be an issue in Comtous's mind that people are going to be upset that they 6-starred a monster and now that monster is no longer in meta. Well, go ahead and put it in that stupid dimensional hole and we could use those monsters there and change the arena meta for the better. But the second sentence here is something that worries me just a little bit because it says in the future they will make monsters with RNG and variability so that being faster doesn't always equal wins, and I hope this is not true because we already know that there's so much RNG involved in this game that we don't need more RNG. Just give us one thing, please. Second bullet here, buffs regarding LND Nat 5s. Quote unquote, I also pulled an LND Nat 5 and most of the chat was RIP. We are working hard to give more utility to those monsters, expecting updates to LND monsters as well as others. Can't discuss specific monsters. They might seem useless right now, but we will try to make new content in which they can be used. That is also a little bit scary because that shows that they are maybe scared to actually nerf or buff certain monsters. They just would rather put something else in the game that makes them useful, which I don't know if I 100% agree with that, but we'll move on to the third bullet here. Will you resell the Transcendent Scroll? I don't even want to talk about the Transcendent Scroll because that is just a whole, it's kind of irrelevant. Rune storage though, one thing we're proud of in Summoner's War is our technical skills resulting in short loading times. Now the 500 rune spaces are included in the technical skills. I want you to know that it's not easy to suddenly increase the storage significantly. We are pondering whether the storage space is actually the problem. In fact, seeing how it is not easy to newly set and change runes, increasing rune storage doesn't seem like the correct fix. We are preparing for a new and more efficient rune management system by this year. So maybe it'll be lumping more runes together and not necessarily being put into a number that you have to load. I don't know. But yeah, that does make sense because I actually agree with that and I understand how every little tick in the game makes it longer to load in. They do really have a great technical aspect where the load times are relatively short in switching from going to battle to back to your island, loading up the game, etc. And yeah, I can see that, but let's see what they come up with. And there you have it, guys. I was in bed, but I had to translate this as soon as I found out about it because I was so excited and wanted to get this out ASAP to all you non-Koreans. That's me, and that's you guys. You're welcome. Thank you, Rice Bala. But again, this is from the Naver post made by a user who compiled the information from the other people who attended and posted about it. So it's a bit generalized and lacking in detail. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me and I will try my best to answer you. Hype! And the last edit here is just put there to make us all salty because apparently those who attended were given dinner and presents, including Angelmon smartphone holder, ring, cape, mouse pad, Devilmon mask, Devilmon pen, tumbler, Angelmon plushie, Angelmon rice cake, and a $100 Google Play card. Damn, wish they had these conferences in other places too. Let's get on that North America Comtoust and I will be there in a heartbeat. Just let me know. Hit me up on my cell phone. But anyway, guys, I hope you liked this update. Big shout out to Rice Bala. I will put his link in the description below so that you guys can check out the actual Reddit post. And as always, stay soupy, don't be potatoes, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.